There's a couple different ways that you can train somebody. You can use video training, you can use demonstration, you can use classroom type training. Well, we've adopted two different training methods, which is to use video training and testing. And that's what people use before they go on a job site. And then when they get to the job site, we use demonstration type training. So the demonstration type training method that we use is called DORAGI. And that stands for demonstrating, observing, re-demonstrating, assigning a task, setting a goal, and then inspecting the work. So demonstrate what the job is that you're trying to accomplish, perform the task in front of the employee from start to finish, be sure that you work slowly and kind of explain everything that you're doing. Make sure that you let them know that quality is the most important part of this phase. You want to teach quality, and then you want to sort of retrain speed. Let them know, like, you've got the quality, now it's time to pick up the speed later on in the training. So the second part is observe. So you've demonstrated for them how to do it. Now you're going to observe them and how they do it. You want to be positive in any kind of feedback that you offer to them. Point out things that they're doing right, for sure. And then, give them tips on how they can do things a little bit better. And that comes into the next part, which is re-demonstrate. So you take, let's say you're painting a wall, you take the roller back from them and you start carrying out the task again, but you're highlighting some of the more minutiae, some of the finer details. In that first demonstration, you're kind of covering the subject in a broad sense. You don't want to get into the minutiae just yet because it's too much information. But now when you re-demonstrate it, now you're going to be pointing out maybe little tips here and there that they can use that's going to help them get the job done better. And then after you've re-demonstrated, you're going to assign them a task. You're going to say, okay, now I want you to paint this bedroom. I can see visually that you're doing it right, but now I want you to do it yourself. And I'm not going to look over your shoulder the entire time while you're doing it. I'm going to come back and check on your work after you've done it. So that's the goal setting and then the inspection part. So the trainer's going to come back and look over all the work that they've done. And if there's things to fix, then you fix them. You show them how to fix them. And you get them involved in the repair process, because the best way to learn from your mistakes is to be the one that fixes it. So it's a pretty simple method. You demonstrate it for them, show them how to do it. And then you watch them do it and you kind of fix things here and there. And then you demonstrate it again, showing more tips here and there. Then you set a goal for them. Hey, I want you to get this done in this amount of time. And then you come back after they've gotten it done and then you inspect it. So if you do that method and you pick out specific tasks, you don't want to pick out a broad range of tasks all at once. You want to pick out one thing. So let's say that the project that we're doing is painting interior walls. You don't want to teach them how to mask off trim and paint walls and cut in ceilings. You want to pick one thing at a time. So you're going to demonstrate for them. If you're trying to train them how to mask trim off, you're going to demonstrate that, watch them do it, re-demonstrate it, set a goal for how much trim they should mask off in a certain period of time, and then come back and inspect it. Once they've kind of mastered that skill, then you move on to the next thing. Then you move on to, here's how you paint walls, or here's how you roll walls. Once they've mastered that, then you go on to the next step, which might be cutting in the lowers or cutting in the ceilings, until you feel like they've really gotten to the point where you don't have to watch over them. So that is the DORAGI method of training. Now we're going to show you a video where we actually follow that DORAGI method. Okay, so we wanted to go over the basics of training. So as a team leader, you have to train your apprentices, the people that are working underneath you. It's really important for you, especially with the piece rate system, that they are productive. So they get there about 70% of the way there. They at least have the basic knowledge by watching these tutorial videos that we have, but they're not there yet. They have to actually build the muscle memory. So when they get out to your job site and you're explaining how to do something, and this covers everything. This goes from deck staining to exterior painting, interior wall painting. It's the same kind of method. What we're basically going to do is show them how to do something. We might point out a couple of tips, some things that work well. A lot of the stuff that's already in the videos, you're going to point out to them again, just kind of reiterate that information. And then you're going to watch them do it. You're going to give the roller to them or the brush or whatever it is that you're trying to show them how to do. And you're going to watch them do it. And inevitably they're going to make mistakes because it's their first time with their hands on it. They might have the basic knowledge, but they don't have that muscle memory yet. So you're going to watch them do it. And then you're going to look for mistakes and you're going to correct those mistakes. So I'm going to just show Mitch how to roll a wall out. For instance, that's a 2-story wall. It's probably 14 feet tall here. A little bit different than just your standard bedroom. So I'll demonstrate how to do it, and then I'm gonna have Mitch do it, and then I'll point out some things where maybe he's doing wrong and I'll correct him. And then once I feel confident that he has the gist of it, then he's gonna do it off on his own. And then I'm gonna come back and check on it and make sure the quality is good. If there's something wrong, he has to fix those mistakes. That's the best way to learn how, is get that feedback loop going as fast as possible, but then also be the one that's responsible for fixing those mistakes. Ultimately, when you have to fix it, that's when it really sinks in because it's not fun to fix. So I'm gonna load this roller up. I'm gonna get it extra wet because I've got a long, tall wall to do here. Get my roller extended up here. I have this fully extended all the way out. I'm not rolling right into the corner here. And I'm going to use a 2-foot ladder in this case, just to get that extra little bit. Now, because I don't have, my angle is so steep, I don't have hardly any pressure on this. I'm just kind of using one hand to put this on. So I'm going to dip a little bit more than I usually would. And I'm not going to go left really any more than that. I'm going to bring it down. You want to be able to, on these tall walls, since we're using more of an eggshell paint, you want to be able to go one length all the way up and down. So right now I'm just getting that paint on here. I'm flipping the roller over to get it tight to this edge. So we have consistent roller stipple. Bring that down. Now when I'm rolling into this corner, this is a wet wall right here. I really don't want to bump this roller into this wall. So make sure that you go slow on that wall. Now I'm going to lay the paint off. So I'm going to bring it up here. Hardly any pressure. I'm going to step down. I'm going to bring the roller all the way down. Slight bit of pressure on the left side. Try to taper off any paint on the right side from the roller edge. Bring it all the way up. Bring that roller down. And it's just gliding on the wall. There's no pressure right now when I'm laying the paint off. And that's pretty much it. You just continue that all the way around. So I just showed Mitch how to do this. Now I'm gonna watch him do it. And I'm gonna look for mistakes. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything he's doing wrong. Now, some people are very quick learners. You just have to show them and they pick it up right away. But 95% of people, you're gonna have to just make small corrections here and there. It also does help that Mitch has been working for us for a while, so he has experience rolling walls and cutting and stuff like that. So he has a baseline here. Now when you get to the very top, Mitch, give it a couple of rolls up and down until you get kind of tight to that ceiling. It's good because you're at such a vertical angle there that you can't put any pressure on. So sometimes it's easy for people to make the mistake of just giving it one swipe and you can't really see it from the angle that you're at, where you don't get coverage with the roller up there. So you want to give it a couple of rolls at the top before you lay it off in your downstroke. That was good. Now some people might have taken that all the way down, not necessary because we have this window that is a separation point here, so we can separate the two as far as laying the paint off vertically, top to bottom. Right down here, or should Yeah, just go ahead and do the underside, and then you can do that full left side once you get there. It's good whenever you have things that bump. A lot of times these stairwells are real tight. You just go vertical with your roller so you don't hit it. And sometimes it's a wall. So you have to go vertical with your roller, make sure the end of your roller extent, your pole doesn't hit the wall. Yeah, the only thing I would say is when you're loading up your roller, just to save yourself on time, is just give it one or two quick dips. You just want to get it flipped over, and then you're good to put it on the wall. We don't necessarily need to keep dipping that roller in there. So this is all really good. What I would do at this point is, I can tell that Mitch has it. I would just say, okay, you get the rest of these walls to do in the stairwell. I'm gonna come and check it out afterwards. And if there's any mistakes, I'm gonna show him how to fix those mistakes, how to get rid of ridges. You know, I might see a roller line where there's a built-up paint. I'm gonna show him how to fix that if that's the case. And then I'm gonna have it roll out again if it has to happen. So that's the basics of training somebody, whether it's staining some railings, pressure washing outside, whatever it is. That's what you have to do. And it's really important for you as a team lead to make sure that your guys are set up and they're learning so that they're fast and efficient and they contribute to the team. It's always a good idea when you're training somebody, especially in the beginning when they're kind of just learning the basics of painting. You want to get them on a task that they can do for several hours at a time. So like if we're painting interior walls, I'm gonna have a new apprentice focus on just masking. Just masking off trim, woodwork, setting drop cloths, the basics of painting. Something that they can do all day long and really get the hang of that one thing. I don't wanna throw a lot of different things at them. I don't wanna say, here, mask this trim, cut this ceiling in. You know, it's just too confusing. You want to get them to the point where you know that you can count on them to do that one task and they do it really well, and then move them on to the next thing. Then go through this process with something else. It could be cutting in ceilings, whatever it is. Don't throw too much at them because it's going to be too much information all at once.